Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? This is BC, another evening live. Again, like I told you, we're going live at least twice a week. I likely will up that to 3 or 4. Of course, as soon as I go live, one of my neighbors, give me a second. Anyways, shooting from the home office. Of course, one of my neighbors decides to start using like a saw or something, whatever. Let's get into it. Proper planning, strategizing, and implementation equals success. That's going to be the theme of today's show. We're going to discuss this. I don't know how long today will be, 20, 30 minutes. Who knows? Welcome to everybody who's joining. As I release more of an official schedule for going live, then I'll put you on the banner. I'll announce it. I'll have it on my website. And you guys will be able to see exactly what days I'm going to go live. Like I said, I'm going to be inviting people to come on. And we're going to have live discussions. It's going to be fun because the live format's really what I enjoy more. Okay. So even if you're watching the recording, just know that pretty soon the schedule will be released. A couple quick announcements. The 2024 Blueprint, which is going to be this Saturday, I'm going to stream it online, but I'm also doing it in person at my office in Miami. Go to teambcevents.com, click the Eventbrite, get your ticket. We have a few spots left. That's going to be a good event. I have guest speakers. It's going to be dope. If you can come in person, I recommend you do. Lastly, today is the last day for people to sign up for the Agagi and receive the free bonus. I recently released the Agagi, which is for like salespeople, entrepreneur, real estate agents, as like a low barrier to entry, right? If you're hurting in the pockets and you can't afford my high ticket stuff, but as like a way to give back, I said anybody who signed up from like last week until tonight at midnight Eastern, we're going to pick one random person and give them a free upgrade to Distinguished Agent, which is my $5,000 a year coaching program. Okay. But we will shut that off at midnight and you can still sign up for it. However, you won't be in the drawing for the free upgrade. So we're going to pick one person. We'll be announcing that very soon, probably in the next couple of days. So proper planning, strategizing, and implementation equals success. Man, why am I bringing this up? Well, we're in the era of people jumping from thing to thing. Think about it. Everyone and their mother comes out and says they're an expert. Everybody who follows people online, you follow 10,000 fucking influencers who tell you 10,000 different things. People claim the old stuff, traditional business stuff doesn't work. We're in the age of social media. No, it's all about social media and that's it. Communication skills and social skills are out the window. The world is changing. AI is in the game now. I mean, there's so many different things that have been implemented and so many different things being thrown at people that they have ditched, that they have either ditched or they just straight up don't believe that foundational, traditional business principles work. So today we're going to do kind of a discussion around that and some things that you can do to ensure that you start seeing results and having success. And this formula applies to things outside of finances and business as well. And that's something people need to realize. You know, when I talk to people, DMs on Instagram, you know, I had another Zoom call today with Angel. He's over here in Miami. Shout out to him. He's joining Real. So I'm having discussions with a lot of people, right? What I come to the conclusion is when I ask them basic questions, I can't get answers, or I get weird stories instead of getting clearer answers, or I can't get the material and numbers that I'm looking for. When I ask people, okay, show me what you're doing, right? Show me what your schedule is. Show me your business plan. Show me the activities you're doing every day. I don't get answers, or I get very vague answers or stories or excuses. So it tells me that there hasn't been proper planning, strategizing, and implementation. And that's why the people continue to struggle, right? Like one example is people will take something when it comes to business and from the beginning, meaning they become an entrepreneur, they get into real estate, they get into sales, and without knowing anything, meaning they're a stone cold rookie coming in. They don't know shit, just like I didn't know shit 10 years ago. Yet they'll come in, right? And I'll give you guys some examples just to make this clear to you. They'll come in and already claim that they're not going to do certain things or they're not interested in certain things before they start. Okay, I want to have success, but I'm not willing to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but I want to come in and have success. And I'm like, what? Like, who the fuck do you think you are? How are you going to come into this game having no credentials and experience, and make all these claims. So let me give you an example, right? When I used to be with EXP, right, years ago, I remember like a couple times I would get emails from people, right? Emails, or they would message my website and write me some fucking long thing like this. Hey, Brian, I'm thinking of, becoming an entrepreneur. I'm thinking about getting into real estate, right? And then immediately they're like, I definitely don't want to do blah, 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 cold calling. I definitely don't want to work on my communication skills. I definitely don't want to deal with people, right? They'll say shit like this and then continue on. But, I want to, so like, I want to be successful. It's like, what? It's like, what era are we living in where someone can even think that, believe it, and then message me something like that? Now, if I'm getting those messages from people, there's at least a good chunk of people thinking that way. I know, because I've gotten it more than once. I won't say it's the majority, but conversations with people might indicate that maybe it's not that extreme, but there's some level of that where they're entering a new world, a new game, and they're claiming, I don't want to do these things that are a part of the game, but still beat the game. Let me tell you, folks, it's not going to happen. If you get into sales, entrepreneurship, and real estate that is a people-based business and you refuse to talk to people, communicate with people, and build that skill set, you will not be successful. I don't give a shit what you say. I'm an introvert, I'm this, I'm that. It doesn't matter. You have to build the skills. I don't care if on the weekends and all your other time you sit by yourself in a room. I don't care. But you have to have the skills. Otherwise, no one's going to want to work with you. No one's going to like you. No one's going to trust you. You're not going to get any customers and nothing's going to happen. But one example, this is something that people keep saying and doing. And then all these fucking marketers come, you don't need to talk to people, do this. And people fall for it. It's nuts. So when I say proper planning and strategizing and implementation, what I just described is before any of that, meaning you're trying to change the game. Stop trying to change the game. Learn the rules of the game, master them, and win. Stop trying to change the game or go around it. It's not going to work. It's just a waste of your time, right? It's just a waste of your time. And unfortunately, I still see a lot of people doing this, okay? So when it comes to planning, right, a lot of people get this part messed up too because they want to spend like all this extra time and effort, like trying to put all these different pieces to the puzzle, right? My recommendation for planning is keep it simple. All this stuff, keep it simple. Get just enough and then go. Meaning, I put together a basic business plan and schedule. That's it. Go. If you did that tonight, Thursday night, November 30th, tomorrow. Is tomorrow December 1st? Yes. Tomorrow, December 1st, you get out there and you work and you implement. You don't spend, I'll get messages. I've been preparing to go out there and talk to people for 6 months. And it's like, preparing for 6 months? What the hell are you doing? You already have a simple business plan and schedule. Go, dude. Proper planning doesn't require a lot of time and all this intricate effort and rocket science. It's just simple. It's putting thoughts to paper, giving yourself some direction, and here's the key, taking the thinking out of it. When I have a clear plan and I have a clear schedule and tasks itemized on what I need to do, the thinking is out of it and I just need to act, you see? But we make ourselves believe that we can't act yet by giving ourselves this busy work. It's just bullshit. It's just you getting in your own way and creating a legitimate excuse. And why do I say that? Because everybody does this and then they go around and they talk with each other and they complain and they give their excuses, and because everyone else is doing it, they think it's okay, right? That's not the case. That's not the case. So when it comes to planning, and this is why you need help. This is why I always recommend people get a coach and get help, because it takes all this extra fluff and all the question marks out of the game, and you're given clear direction and you're told to go. But for your sake, something simple. Get a business plan, get a schedule, right? What are the tasks and things that I'm going to do during those times? And that's it. Nothing else exists. As far as strategizing, you strategize while you take action. You see, so if I go back to my beginnings, I talk to a shitload of people every day, like a lot of people every day, and I refined my approach as I took a lot of action. So let's say I was out making calls and going door to door. I started doing it, and then as the days went on, I started refining, okay, here's the specific leads that I'm going to go after. These are the neighborhoods that I'm going to target, right? This is the type of lead source I'm going to start targeting more now and spending more time here, right? Because what you do is when you take action, you start gathering data, right? You start gathering data. You start seeing what works, what doesn't, what you need to work on. And as you're gathering that data and getting more and more data over and over and over and over, you can strategize because now you have numbers and something to work with that you can analyze. Just like when we tell you the classic business advice, track your numbers, right? If you listen to me and you're a salesperson or a real estate agent, you need to be tracking how many people you have conversations with, how many attempts you're doing, right? How many leads you're getting, how many appointments you're setting, how many appointments you're actually going on, what your conversion rate is, all that stuff. Because then when you plug it in and we take a snapshot look per month, per quarter, per year, it's very easy to see what can be improved, what needs to change, where you're struggling. It becomes easy. We have proof of what you did. Now, if it's all in your head, in quotes, which is what people tell me, it's ridiculous. You don't have a business. How can we strategize around numbers in your head? It just doesn't make sense. Because then we can take a look. Which lead source is good for you, right? Okay, we're noticing that it's taking you a lot of conversations to get a lead. What's going on here? And then I can ask you some questions and we can refine the process. And maybe we need to up your skills a little bit. Maybe we need to change your lead source and the types of people and clients that you're trying to acquire, your ideal or target customer. Maybe we need to adjust that a little bit because the current one you're going after isn't working. Either your systems are messed up or your approach is messed up, or maybe it's just not a good lead source in the area that you're working. I don't know. But until we have those numbers, we have nothing to analyze and look at. So that would be the strategizing aspect of it. We have to strategize as we go. And then you're constantly making assessments at least one time a month to say what's working, what's not. After I started doing this in my real estate business, after 1, 2, 3 years, you start spotting the patterns. And when I start spotting the patterns, I can predict things. I can make adjustments. I can know, hey, during the summer months, these lead sources are better. During the winter, right, and the fall, these are better. During the spring, this one's better, right? And then I can make adjustments. So I would start talking to certain lead sources at different times of the year more frequently because I got better results. How did I know that? By tracking my numbers. That would be an example of proper strategizing when it comes to this thing. So when it comes to the strategy aspect of it, it's done in conjunction, meaning at the same time with massive action. And if you're an entrepreneur, you're in sales, that means you're talking to a lot of people every day. Talking on the phone, in person, speaking to people. I have to keep reiterating that because we keep ushering in the era, well, the computers, the AI. Dude, AI is not going to replace people. It's going to replace medial jobs that require no skill. But big ticket stuff, people where they have to make big financial decisions, they're not going to decide with the fucking computer or an AI. Now, if you don't believe that, then I can't help you. Will they use the AI for 10, 20, couple $100 purchases? Probably. But anything bigger? No. They're going to want a person. Now, if your skill set and you as a person are no different than a computer, of course they're going to choose the computer. Why do you think a lot of these greeters at stores and places got replaced by computers? Because the greeter didn't bring anything to the table. He was just there. He was just a body. If that person had a little bit of personality and charisma, they would have kept their job because some places still have greeters and they won't get a computer. Why? The greeter's good. He's earned his position. But that's a separate discussion talking about the AI. But that's just an example of why I believe we're secured in our position. At least me. Can't speak for other people, but for me, for sure. An AI can create a script of, if I put in this lecture, right? Proper planning, strategizing, and implementation, an AI could create a little script about it and you can read it and learn. Would it be better than my actual live? No, for sure it wouldn't. And I would put my money against the AI 24/7, Chat GPT, whatever it is. But I believe in my skills and in my intelligence that I've developed, that it's better than a fucking computer. Now, if you don't, or you're nervous about that, then you have a lot of work to do. Then your strategy should be, I need to build the skill set and communication skills to make sure that I'm irreplaceable, even by AI. Cool. And implementation. Implementation is simple, y'all. That's simply doing. Now, this is why you need a helping hand to guide you while you're doing it. But for many of you, you're alone and you choose to be alone. And even if that's the case temporarily before you get help, make sure that you're implementing a lot. That last book that you read, if you got some stuff that you can use from it, how much of it have you used? The techniques that I maybe gave you in a free video on YouTube or a podcast, have you actually implemented them? Or is it just, you know it? Because we have a population of people right now out in the world that know a lot of things, but they don't have any results and they can't actually do anything. You should see some of the comments I get. They're insane. Oh no, but this is better and you don't know shit and this and that. It's like, okay, dude, well, what are your results? If you're going to make those claims, what are your results? I don't want you guys to walk around and be these little intellectuals talking about stuff. Do it. And it's simply this. You do it. There's no special methodology to get you to implement. You implement. You implement. You learn the technique to use on the phone. Get your ass on the phone. You learn something that's going to help you with body language or whatever, going door to door or doing business to business or open houses or whatever it is, then do it. Then schedule an open house the next day and do it. And specifically say, I'm working on this technique today. Boom, 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 boom. It's really that simple. And this done over time equals success. Because it's these types of things that are in harmony, meaning you do all of these simultaneously, that get you to the promised land. Why? That code has already been cracked a long time ago. You see? But people think they can do better. I can do my own thing. I can figure it out. I don't have to do that. I don't want to do that, right? And that's why so many people fail, because they don't marry the game and understand the game. They try to recreate the game, and they're not going to do it. It's silly to think you're going to recreate the game. It really is, especially with a lot of this foundational old school business stuff, right? Those principles are never going to go away, right? If you work as an entrepreneur, a salesperson, you're in a people business. Yet everybody wants to get away from dealing with people. It's nuts. So ask yourself, as an example, what have I learned over the last 7 days? Maybe you've learned 20 new things. How many have been actually implemented? And if it's not 16, 17, 19, or all 20, you really got to step that up. Because then otherwise you're just receiving, right? Because think of it this way, right? Input, output, input, output. There needs to be a flow there and a balance. If you're inputting all this information and none of it's being implemented, you're out of harmony, you're out of balance. This is what causes people to be unproductive and not do it. That has to be a flow, right? It's almost like the infinity symbol that I got tattooed here. It has to be a flow. Learn, implement, learn, implement, learn, implement, right? That's the flow. That's what keeps you moving, keeps you progressing, keeps you fulfilled, keeps you progressing as a human being, as a business person, or whatever it is that you want. And you got to keep that flow going. And a lot of people just don't. It's sit back, study, study, study. Well, and even that, like people's level of studying is very lazy. I was on YouTube all day. That's not studying, bro. That's getting a little bit of insight and information from me or some other people. That's not actual study and implementation, though. That's just taking what you can get. So even the studying aspect isn't done good, and they still don't take any action. It's nuts. Proper planning, strategizing, and implementation equals success. That code will be relevant long after I'm gone and will be there forever. And ask yourself right now, what are you resisting out of these three as an example? What's missing? And for many of you, the big one is implementation. Just not enough action being taken. Straight up. You need to take more action. Do more. Talk to more people. Start with that. I'm going to talk to 30, 40 people every day about my business. 90 days from now, if you did that every day for 90 days, you would be doing some business. I don't care what business you're in. Even if you were terrible, even if you had no systems, nothing. If you just did that, you would start seeing some success. Because guess what? In that process, you have to build resiliency to keep going every day, because it's not fun to go out there and get your ass kicked every day. But if you know you're committed to doing 90 days, after 10, when you're feeling down in the dumps because you get rejected, you're like, okay, I need to improve my approach. I need to get better. I need to improve my communication skills. I need to improve my delivery. I need to get a little better at asking for people's phone number and getting them to commit. And your ingenuity and your resourcefulness as a human being will come out because you're committed and you're actually doing it. And because you're doing it, you want to get better at it. That's our nature. If we're going to do something over and over, we're going to get better and better. We're going to want to get better and better because we'll enjoy whatever that activity is more if we're better. That's the beauty of all of it. That's one of the biggest rewards of getting good at anything, is when you're really good at it. God, it's fun. That's why I love just talking even to random people now. It's fun when you build up a very good communication, like a set of skills, like we can say like a communication arsenal. We can say it's great. I can connect with anybody, anywhere, any place, anytime. It's fucking fantastic. But I had to work my ass off to get here. Now it's fun. But people aren't willing to go through that because along that journey, there's a lot of pain and suffering up here. Not physical. It's up here. It's your own mind working against you, unfortunately, right? Cool. Okay, guys, that's it for this show. Keep a lookout for the final schedule being posted. Remember, go to Eventbrite, teambcevents.com. Get your tickets for the 2024 Blueprint. Join the Real Estate Agagi, which is in the description. Tonight at midnight Eastern, we will cut off that free upgrade that we're going to pick from one random person who joins the Agagi. We'll still leave up the link to join if you want to join, but that's my gift to you. Okay, that's it for this one, guys. Enjoy. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.